Hey guys, it's Shah here at the Tech Borg, and today's video we're going to be making a pattern in Python. We're going to use code. We're not going to use like Turtle, which normally people use to create some kind of a pattern. We're just going to use code. Very simple, 3 or 4 lines of code. We're going to make kind of like a triangle, I guess, where you enter the number of rows you want, right? And then it'll output a triangle based on that. It'll be like a right angle triangle, so you realize what I'm talking about once I actually make the program and run it. So, first of all, like anything, we're going to have to create an input, so let's call it A equals integer input. So enter the number of rows. Okay, so that the basics. Now we need to create a for loop now. This for loop will let us loop through all the rows and output that many. We're going to use asterisks, obviously. Not obviously, as in we're going to use asterisks to represent the triangles, or make the shape or outline of the triangle. Not outline; it will cover the inside of the triangle as well. But you get what I'm saying when I actually produce the code. So now we need to do for I in range. So for I in range, now over here, you know how we normally have like x and y, like we have 2 variables here. We're going to add a third variable here. Now the third variable here represents the increment or the reduction in whatever values you're going from where to where. So for example, over here, I'm going to put in n over here, right? I'm going to put 0 over here, then I'm going to put -1 here. Now what this will do is, we're saying, okay, this n to 0, I want this program to go down by 1 each time from n to 0, right? This is something new, obviously. Even I learned this quite recently. It's quite cool. So normally we'd have like for I in range, and then you have your minimum, maximum, and then that's it, right? Now we are able to write our maximum and our minimum, and then create a decreasing order, so we can go from n to n-1 to n-2 all the way down to 0. Now this is useful because we can use this idea to create blank spaces where there don't need to be any asterisks covering the triangle. Now you get what I'm saying, as you know, as said earlier, when I make the program itself. So let's just get on with it. So print, and then firstly, right, we need, now if you think about it, right, we just need to print n amount of asterisks, right? If we print n amount of asterisks on the first row and then keep it decreasing, or we can do that the other way, but we'll do that just for the simplicity's sake. Let's just do it like that. So n minus I, right? This represents all the gaps, all the spaces that don't need to be containing an asterisk in order to create the shape. So we have to times that by empty spaces, so something like that, right? Now, yeah, as I was saying, so plus, okay, now, okay, I got my variables wrong. Nice, very nice. A minus I times this plus I times, where's the times? Asterisk, there it is, times asterisk in there. Okay, so I'm going to run this code, see if it's correct or not. Hope it's correct. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so let me just put this here. Free. Okay, there's an error. We always enjoy errors anyway. But yeah, okay, I got those. Don't know what it is with them, but yeah, I got the variable wrong. Sorry. Yeah, I just copied the variable here is A. I put N for some reason. Don't know why. So I'll just save this and run this. Okay. 5. There you go. Working. Brilliant, isn't it? So what we've done here is we've created this asterisk shape, or triangle shape, with full of asterisks. Asterisks, don't know if that's plural, whatever. So yeah, that's really it. That's all we've done. So I'll run through this, what I've done in these 3 lines step by step. So first of all, we've done the usual, taking the input here. So now we've created a for loop. Now what this for loop enables us to do is we're able to loop through all the values of a, right? So let me show you like live, like what the system's doing. So look, the first line we have is, there's 5 asterisks, yeah. Now in the first line we have a being inputted as 5, therefore 5, there will be 5 minus 0, which would be 5, yeah. So the value of the number of asterisks outputted would be 5, right? So because we're decreasing from a to 0, right? Because we're going from a minus 1 all the way down to 0. And that's literally all we've done. So a minus I represents all the blank spaces because a is the total number of rows, right? Which would help us because it would be 5. So over here would be 1, then 2 spaces here, then 3 spaces here, and then 4 spaces here, and then 5 spaces here. So technically, it's just the inverse of the number of rows, and that is what we're doing. So I loops through all these values, right? So I loops through a minus 1, a minus 2, all the way down to 0. By doing a minus I, we'll be left with some kind of remainder, I. Okay, let's enter a as 5, alright. If a is 5, right, I would be 5, right, because that's the initial value. So I is 5, a is 5, therefore, this would be 0. A is 5, so let's start off with I as 5, because remember, it's from a to 0, and it decreases by 1 each time. So if a is 5, then I is also 5. If a and I are both 5, then a minus 5 is 0, right? So there would be no blank spaces, and I times, well, I is 5, so 5 times 5 asterisks would output 5 asterisks, which is what we have in the first row. And that's really it, guys. That's all we've done here. We just used some basic maths and some Python functions, and yeah, that's really it. It's quite a simple program, as you can see. We'll start to move on to something harder. Well, I'm going to be starting my degree soon as well, so hopefully I'll be able to teach you even, high-level computer science, hopefully, and programming. And thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like, comment, subscribe.